Crypto ruined my life. The mental health crisis hitting Bitcoin investors. The stress and anxiety that goes with funneling your life savings into a volatile market is no joke. The article from Vice goes on to talk about a 19-year-old who lost a good amount of money in the recent crash and felt that the market was going to zero. He's had sleepless nights and constant stress and anxiety despite only being 19 years old. He's now short-tempered with his friends, and many are wondering if Bitcoin and crypto is the easy route to wealth that it's been described, or if it's a stress machine that captures you and your family in a never-ending cycle of stress. Christian Rutzel, is Bitcoin the answer to investing? Are these people stressed for no reason, or are they rightly stressed? What do you think?
It completely starts with the problem putting your life savings into such a risky asset. I mean, basically, I don't also get the article like, how can this be bad for mental health? You had a mental health problem before when you did that. So this is really a little bit where I don't get it. The other part, I definitely get it. Day-to-day trading is an addiction. It will drive you crazy. And if you really have all your, even if you leverage stuff, like you get credit to do stuff. So this is definitely madness. So and if this is your world, get out of it, get help. So and the problem is a little bit, all those younger people, these apps are on every day. You have it on your phone, and then you have all the videos like, this is an emergency, you have to trade, Bitcoin goes up, Bitcoin goes down. So this you get it from all sides, right? So there's people that are earning money on this, the exchanges earning money on this, the influencers earning money off this, creating a false idea around you about that everybody is doing this now, and when you don't do it, you're in the out group or something. If you do it more the relaxed way, like you said in the beginning, like you analyze it as something, you say, I think this is the way to go for 6 months or maybe for a year, then you maybe can do it a little bit more relaxed, and again, don't gamble with your life savings. That's really the problem from the beginning.
It is quite something when they go all in on this, and it should stress them out. And if you think that's stressful, imagine leverage, where, like you said, you're borrowing someone else's money so you can have 10x the bet. You can also have 10x the losses, and no doubt 100x or maybe 1,000x the stress, as you're now truly borrowing and gambling with other people's money. Now, I know a lot of people do really well on leverage and all that, but for me, it's always been that 1929 crash. And I was just like, that's the scariest thing imaginable, where you're up crazy in a stock, but you borrowed all the money to get up, and the next day everything goes down, and you had no way of seeing it. Everyone, fell in that crash. Ben Ark, what do you think? Crypto ruins their life? Or do they just not have a long enough timeline? This guy who's 19, he's kind of living minute to minute here. Whereas if he had a 5-year time span, maybe he'd be 24 and have a little bit of a savings by then, huh?
I mean, it goes back to what you were saying before about these, trading personalities. They know that you shouldn't have short-term time. You shouldn't do day trading. People get wrecked. They lose loads of money. But in order for them to be able to have a product which they can sell, such as a YouTube channel or their indicator or whatever else, then they need to continue giving you information. And then that ends up becoming day trading, even if they know that it's counterintuitive to how you should actually trade. It always goes back to that Warren Buffett, that the markets are a way for impatient people to lose money to patient people. And it's completely and utterly true. And your advice was the best. Wait 5 years. If people come to me and they say they want to invest in Bitcoin, I always say, okay, invest enough that it's going to hurt you, right? It's going to make you upset if you lose the money. It's not going to destroy you or annihilate you, but it's going to hurt you. Now, don't go anywhere near it. Don't get tempted to trade with any other currencies. Put on a hardware wallet, put it somewhere safe. Wait 5 years. In 5 years' time, you'll have a decent, you would have had a very decent return. If you were taking every year in Bitcoin as a metric, you'll do very well indeed. And I think that's pretty sound advice. But you can't then make a career as a trading advisor by just saying that to people, because it's like a sentence worth of advice. So how are you gonna rinse people and get money out of people? When it comes to the Bitcoin burnout, it is a real thing, and we've all seen it with friends and people around us, particularly within the Bitcoin space. And I think because a lot of us understand that Bitcoin is a panacea for a lot of the world's problems, and it has immense value. We kind of go all in emotionally, and we're like, wow, this is the thing which can actually make a difference. And then we become Bitcoiners. and for a lot of people has a very positive, uplifting, effect on them and their mental health and their self-esteem and whatever else. Then they invest some money into it. Then their sense of emotional well-being is pegged to the price, which is great when it's going up because we're all like, jumping up and down, having a great old time. And then when the Bitcoin price then crashes, everyone feels absolutely miserable, and it's very detrimental to mental health. If you're willing to like get beaten over 4 or 5 years with these crazy price swings, then people become immune to it. So I don't know because I don't invest in the thing, but people become immune to it. Just be careful not to peg your whole life onto the Bitcoin price. Buy a bunch, put it somewhere safe, wait 5 years, don't think about it, ignore the price. Well, you can keep an eye on the price, but no matter what happens, have your security profile. So it's actually hard to get hold of the Bitcoin in order to put them on an exchange and sell them quickly for some shitcoin. Like put them somewhere, your parents' house, or put them somewhere you can't really access them very easily. Or it take you a few days to access them. And because quite often it's like it's 2 a.m, you're freaking out about the price, it's dropping, you think it's going to crash to nothing. There's some other thing which is going to go up to, is going to 1000x or whatever, or your mate told you about, and then you get your hardware out, you plug it in, you put it on the exchange, and blah, 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 and then you lose everything. I mean, I've heard this story so many times from people, but if you haven't physically got access to those coins, then that kind of gets rid of that problem, and you can, be a bit more sober in your decision making. But yeah, Bitcoin burnout. I mean, this kid's 19, so he'll get over it, crikey. But he should be day trading, never leverage, and it's a good article though. I mean, I think it's important that people are more aware of Bitcoin burnout as an actual issue when it comes to mental health. But Christian's also right, people are mental to get into it in the first place.
It would be an interesting cold storage idea to dig down like really deep, where it takes you several days to dig it, then put your paper wallet or your Trezor or whatever in the hole, then fill the dirt back up, and now that it's going to take you 3 days to get down there again. So if you're like, oh crap, I gotta sell, you're out there digging for 3 days. I think that'd be a good plan. And I agree with Ben, the idea about putting that one message out there, like buy Bitcoin and wait 5 years. Like it's not a YouTube channel. It's not like you put your mouth open and you do the thing. And I think there's one guy that has done that, Adam Meister. I want to give a shout out to Adam Meister, who's always like, buy and hold and, stack your sats and all that kind of thing, and pound that like button. And
we should do a YouTube channel. Right. We should do a YouTube channel where we've got like the thumbnails with the chart, and then us going like this. But then the YouTube, when they press play on the video, it would just be buy Bitcoin, wait 5 years.
Well, I know I was thinking about what useful show I could do, and I was like, I should just show up every day and tell them like buy Bitcoin, like every day, just keep doing it. But I'm exhausted. But yeah, they do keep doing that. It does keep going up and down. It's the right thing. And just, from personal example, it's not that easy to avoid looking at the price all the time. I remember when I wasn't in Bitcoin and it went to $1 and I was like, oh, I'm so dumb. I should have bought it at a penny. It went to $30. I'm so dumb. I should have got $1. Went to 300. And once I finally got some in the like 300 to back down to 100 range, I checked every day. I checked every day. I checked every minute. I checked all the time. I made a YouTube channel, started making YouTubes every day. So I'm not exactly the right person to say like, oh, just ignore it for 5 years, because obviously I couldn't, and I still can't. But that attitude towards the money, and then if you split it up, and if you didn't put your whole life savings in, even though it would be fun if your whole life savings went up 10% or 20% or whatever, but if it goes down 50%, oh my. So there's a lot there, but I think, giving the good advice and living it is different, but we all have to struggle